2. Okay.
Welcome to Zero Hit Points, everybody. It's May 29th. I'm Ryan Miller, and in memoriam, Matt Amberg.
I do feel pretty dead today.
That's how Memorial Day works, which this isn't today, I guess, actually, now that I think about it. I can still hear myself over there. That's probably bad.
No, it's because I forgot that I need to turn up this thing and not that thing. So, we're having audio issues all forever on every platform. I can't get my computer to work. I can't get my laptop to work. We're trying this in a whole new direction.
Live.
I wanna tell you, Ryan, by the way.
Okay.
So Ryan does all the production for the show. All my entire function in this quote unquote like relationship. It's more abusive than you people know.
Wait, why do you gotta quote the relationship?
Well, because it's really one-sided. I'm just kind of here, like I'm on the show and I'm kind of good to look at occasionally.
Oh.
No, okay,
yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll go with I'm on the show.
Face
that's
for
as far
podcasts.
that's as far as we want to get. Yeah, no joke. Voice for a nunnery. I don't.
You got a face for podcasts and a voice for looking at. Is that how it works?
Ryan does all the production here. I just do the talking, and you know what? I just lost my entire train of thought. It just like it pulled off, and now there's people deboarding.
We've run into some issues today.
That's
and
it.
You're probably in the process of trying to say they're all your fault. They're not.
I'm having I'm having audio issues. I'm having issues on my Mac. I'm having issues on my PC. I'm clearly having mental issues right now. Like there's some disconnected synapses going, hey, where do we shoot this electricity? We got to do something. Go right into the brain.
It's been a rough, immediate run. We tried to play State of Decay. We're going to talk about a little bit. But we wanted to dip into the multiplayer a little bit to round out the discussion, even if it's a first impression of sorts. But that wasn't working for us. So we said, let's just record. And 20 minutes later.
And that also wasn't working for...
So if you hear an intermittent cell phone signal, I don't know.
Check your cell phone. You might be getting
a phone
call.
Go to bed. Yeah, it's you. Pick up the phone. It's not us.
It's not us.
It's zerohitpoints.com. It's not us. I'll
us.
Change the thing tonight.
That's good.
Don't worry. Hey, it could partly be us because during this podcast, we still talk about video games that we've played. Today's going to be an abbreviated show. It's Memorial Day for all intents and purposes. Memorial Day observed, you could say. Yeah,
I'm seeing it happen in front of my eyes.
Are you doing anything today? Do you have weather for it today, I should ask? Because
actually, our weather today is terrific. It is like 70 degrees and it's overcast. And
that's the Memorial Day weather.
Like it's not raining or anything, and I think we're supposed to get a thunderstorm later tonight or later this afternoon. But our thunderstorms are 10 minutes long, and then it's done. So
nice.
Yeah,
just a little punctuation. Yeah, they're like,
it is
saved it for later.
Yeah, it's a thing where you go, hey, I'm gonna go out for a walk with my dog, or I'm gonna take a ride on a bike, or I'm gonna go sit outside at this pub, and then you're suddenly like drenched to the bone, and then you're like. 20 minutes later, totally dry.
Yeah. Then you run inside. You're like, guys, it's raining. And everybody looks out the window and it's sunny.
It's just
like,
sunshine.
No. Yeah.
You step out there, boom, shh. You're like, guys.
Nope. It was me again. Yeah, no, I don't have any of that. So there is a barbecue or two out there waiting for me. So we can still keep moving, but it's ugly. So it doesn't matter. I'll stay warm as long as possible. And that's fine.
I think it's just weird that you're cold.
It's ugly out there, man. It's not even sunny, I don't think.
California with no sun? What is this? Escape from LA?
The School for Ants?
Yeah. Check out Book Club for Movies on Thursday. Hey,
Thursday.
So, all right, you already kind of picked on it and poked at it and pulled on the scab, but let's talk about State of Decay.
Okay.
2, not even the first one.
Right. Well, now we have a problem.
Yeah. Okay, we got to delete the entire podcast because we may not have said 2 at the beginning, and nobody can tell. There's no way to rewind it.
I'm like 5 hours into State of Decay 1, ready to talk about it with you.
Yeah, here we go. Just in case it's not back there. 2. Now you can add it.
I'll put it back in. It's good.
Yeah. So State of Decay 2. See, I set myself up for that. It's really good, right?
That's what I was gonna do is cut it and then keep putting it in. But now you just keep repeating it exactly like you did before. You're doing all the work for me.
Hopefully you could just
Who says I do all the production? That's
I'm
what
hoping that
saying.
you can cut it in randomly throughout the show when I say the word 2. If I say the word 2 again, you could just 2.
Yeah, I'll cut out how you keep re-saying it exactly how you said it the first time to add the way you said it the first time, which is exactly the same.
I'm just talking about later on. You think I'm going to remember to do that after I talk about this, like for 2 more seconds? No. Brain of a goldfish. 2. Moving on, State of Decay 2. So what I've not played the first State of Decay. I didn't really know anything about it, and I started looking at the trailers for this, and I still didn't really, it's a zombie game. Okay, cool. You build a community. That sounds pretty cool too. You know, a little community management. All right, that sounds kind of interesting. So I got into this. I'm 2.5, 3 hours in, and I'm very curious. How far have you gotten with this?
Oh, you're gonna have to carry this because I.
Oh, it's no. It's not about that. I just am legitimately curious how far you've gotten. What have you done?
So I booted up the game.
It's a great start already.
And I noticed, because I've also heard some things about this game. State of Decay 1, less so. I mean, I recognize it. It's popped up here and there. Right. But I did hear a lot of kind of positive buzz about State of Decay 2 really early on as it was coming up, because for all the roughness I heard that State of Decay 1 had, it was kind of one of those games where you could see the next iteration kind of being where it's at, like
right.
There's something here. This is very promising. So yeah, State of Decay 2 was on my radar, and we talked about it. You were going to play it. You're like, hey, check it out. So I was like, okay. Heard enough about it. Booted it up, got to the point where you get to choose kind of your different stories, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
I hear that story isn't necessarily where this game is at, but there are kind of initial contextualizations. The one I chose was I'm a girl and her brother, and he gets bit pretty early on, and that kind of, it moves pretty quickly. It's kind of the first act of a movie if it moved really quickly. Like, didn't even take, it might have taken actually 30 minutes. So got through the first area, taught me how to loot, got me 2 more allies, put me in a vehicle, and drove out of the spot where I began. And it said, basically, it's sending me out to find a new community or to co-opt a community or however it goes, and said that multiplayer was now open, which is kind of what I was heading for anyways. And I was playing it too late and was falling asleep, so that's where it ended for me.
Okay, so you definitely need to get a little bit further into because I do want to have this conversation with you. I am really, really curious as your tastes have changed, whether or not this is going to be something where you kind of play it and you get into it, or if it's something where you kind of go, because it does have an end. Like, there is an end goal.
That's good.
You're not just
+1.
It's not just a forever game. You can keep playing it for a long, long time, like maybe forever, but there is like a final goal. You have I don't know that there's a real narrative here. I mean, the narrative is kind of the one you're building. It's a self-driven narrative by you deciding, you get radio calls and you get, you have your community to deal with, and do you go help these people? Do you not? Do you scavenge stuff? Because you are, as you're playing, you have you've got a, up in the corner, there's like a bunch of meters, not a bunch of them. There's like 5 of them. And it's the stuff that your community is going through. So you've got like ammo and food and materials and all that stuff. And the lower it gets, the more bummer they feel, and they're like, no, this sucks. Get us more ammo. We're tired of punching zombies and our getting teeth stuck in our fists. So you have that, and then you also have not only so that's why you have to go out and scavenge. And as you're scavenging, you're meeting people, you're picking up missions, but you also have to pay attention to your community, because while you'll give them weapons and I guess like this is something I'm not 100% on right now, but I think it's, if you store weapons, they have them. I'm not sure if you have to give them the guns because they do hold on to them. So you must have to take them over because you can take over everybody in your community.
Gotcha.
Every time you bring somebody in your community, you can walk up to them and change into that character, which you will have to do because your people have stamina and their energy both get tired. They get tired and they become less and less like after they fight a lot. You know, you have to take them back. They have to sleep.
Got it.
You have to swap out with somebody.
Right.
So, and when you do that, I did figure out, So I did figure out that they go to sleep with the guns that you gave them. So if they loot a gun, they go to sleep with it.
They sleep with the guns that you give them.
Yes. Well, you know what? You're in a zombie apocalypse. Are you just going to put your gun back in the armory?
No.
That would be real dumb.
You're going to.
Yeah, you sleep with it.
Yeah.
You kiss it. You talk to it. You have a date with it. When you go to the restroom, you leave it outside.
Becomes a dating sim. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't bring the gun in the bathroom. You set it out there because you don't bring your loved ones.
So how long have you played it for then? Like how deep?
Like
are you?
I said, about 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay.
And it does like for me it's kind of sucking away time. Like I don't realize how much I've spent doing things. It may be even longer, honestly, maybe 4 or 5 hours. But it was really a time suck because I kept wanting to go a little bit further and open up the map a little bit further and try to create some more safe zones. And the safe zones aren't like safe permanently, you know, that they are always under threat of zombie infestation and all that.
Right. The meters are always going down from what I understand.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it literally is the race against time where at some point, you know, you're going to get through a majority of the houses and buildings in one little section and things aren't going to respawn there. Like you've got to just move on and like, I really like the idea that this is the closest thing to like the zombie apocalypse sim, I guess, that I could kind of get into maybe. And I really dig it. I really like the idea that, you know, like your base, your base of operations can have multiple people, more people than you have beds. But the more people you have, the noisier it gets. And the noisier it is, the more hordes come and attack it. So you have to kind of pay attention to your ammo reserves and all the stuff that, you know, are they destroying things? Can you, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's interesting. It's fun. The combat is not the greatest in the world. It's pretty basic. I
didn't mind it like that. No, that much I did get. Although I don't know how much I haven't got yet. All it taught me was how to get weapons, equip weapons, X to hit, and then there's a finishing move with bumper and Y, I think, or something like that. Does it go further than that? Not
really. There's a dodge ability that you will use liberally, but it's another one of those things where you go back and forth between. I can use the dodge a bunch, but then I won't be able to swing my weapon because I'll be out of stamina. You know, so you have to balance it.
Oh,
because
is that Bloodborne-y, or is that kind of a Dark Souls thing?
No. Well, no? I don't think those have stamina. I don't remember having stamina in that, but maybe it does. It's been a while since I played Bloodborne, so
games we haven't played
in a while, at least. Yeah. So the combat isn't super deep. It is very much so a press button swing thing. And then, you know, if there are zombies on the ground, you can automatically execute them.
Right.
You can execute zombies by sneaking up behind them. And the weapons do have different, like, there are different animations for the different weapons, you know, the handheld weapons and stuff.
Do they all deteriorate too? Like my bat?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. I'm not sure about the guns yet, because I haven't used guns very often because they're loud. And I've been in situations where I'm trying to be as quiet as possible because there are a lot of zombies around, and I'm new. I'm a baby survivor. So,
so you chose a different story.
I did choose a different story. I went with the two friends. There were two buddies that were
had a baby together.
No, they were just two friends. I mean, they might have had a baby together, but it doesn't.
You don't know, right?
Well, no, you don't know. But the way they're written doesn't sound like it. But yeah, they were just two friends that found each other after the apocalypse started and were like, man, we know each other. Let's hang out. And then they did the Schwarzenegger thing, in Predator, where he's like...
Stick around.
Yeah, that's it.
No hook? Like, there's no... Like, I did the brother-sister, but he got bit. Like, there's no...
That happens with all of them, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he got bit too. And then once you get to the community, the first thing you do is try to find the cure for the plague. And that's the very first thing you do.
Is that the end game? Is just curing your friend, or what is...
No. Like, you cure him. That's the first thing you do. You cure him.
Okay.
Then
what's you said it has an ending, like where are we going?
No, there are ultimate goals to get that count as like end game. It's not a permanent thing. Like you're gonna, as you play the communities and you grow the communities, there are more things to do. And the ultimate thing here is you have to destroy all the plague hearts, and there's like 5 or 6 of them.
Okay.
So that's your ultimate, like you do that, and then in theory that's gonna be your end game.
Does the game keep going after that, or do you get a...
I think you can continue playing it. Yeah. I think it's just like I said, like that's where there's no more, they're not going to add anything to that. It's now you're just surviving to survive.
Huh. Okay. Interesting, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm in. Let's do some of that when we can.
Yeah. That's cool. That's fun. I also played, the other game that I played, we both played a bunch of, was Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Bunch. Probably more than last time even. Did I finally burn you out on it?
No, I was actually thinking, I was waiting today. I was waiting till, right after this, assuming I have no idea what I'm doing after this, but assuming I'm doing nothing, yeah, I want to go play that some more.
So you got the bug.
I love it, man. It's to be fair, I will tell you that the most fun I have with that game is definitely the Showtime thing, which is the Showtime mode is the mode where if you press the 2 on the Xbox, anyways, you press the 2 bumpers together on any road, you immediately like turn into just a tumbling car, and all the cars around you have dollar signs around them.
Right.
So your goal is to knock as many cars as possible while like bouncing. You can do a thing called a ground break where you kind of throw your car off the ground, and it's how you travel basically.
I think it was crash mode in the other Burnouts, right? Isn't that what they called it?
I think so. I think that's ultimately what it turns into. Yeah. But I don't think it started out like that. I think it starts out with you drove, and then you had to pick where you were crashing, and then it turned into the pinball.
It's Danger Zone basically. Right? The new one they put out.
Which, in terms of this thing, I do like that better.
Yeah, it was fun because those were more bespoke puzzles, kind of. You know, this is a lot easier, too. It's like you hit Showtime, and I feel like you could go on for a long time.
Well, I've gone on for a bit.
The first one you did, you were over 100 cars, weren't you, or something like that?
Yeah, I think my max at this point is now 210 or something.
Yeah, so it's still fun, but it is a lot easier, and there's a lot less of that puzzle aspect too. Because there was same thing with Danger Zone. You know, part of the reason I like that, in spite of its lesserness, was that it's this area you crash, and then you have to move around the area in a certain way. There are certain parts to the or other intersections you have to go to get the high score. You know, like I said, it's much more kind of handcrafted and purposeful. This one you kind of just like keep going, like you can roll down the streets. Speaking of which, doing this online, I can see where you're doing it, but I can't see any of the exploding cars. So all I see is your... So did you watch those clips?
Yeah, they're hilarious.
Your
I love
burnt out hunk just like hopping down the street. Like it's both eerie and entertaining at the same time.
And the fun thing is that I can see you as well. Like I can
really?
bounce, I can
just
bounce off
there?
your car, but it doesn't give me any points. Like you don't have a dollar sign, which sucks. I think you should have a dollar amount attached
I'm worth
to you,
money.
Because even if you decided to, cheat that for some reason, I don't think they even have a dollar amount achievement for it. So who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. All they have is like 1 or 2 for doing it in certain areas or something like that. Or no, getting 10 times by hitting 10 buses, which are your multipliers, or getting 1.5 million on one certain street. Yeah, that's it. So
yeah, which both of those were like, I think I got them like right away. So no big deal.
Although they do wrap it into, so online, the way the online works, we haven't gone real deep into it, especially since it appears in pretty much every racing game that's come out since. But you're in a lobby, kind of a shared world. And within that shared world, each road has 2 records, one of them for doing showtime, like dollar amount, get the high score, and one for how long you run a certain route. And it's usually end to end on whichever road. Sometimes the roads fork and they choose one, so you got to figure it out. But for the most part, that's been super fun also. Like when, because the street signs will show up red if you haven't beat it or if someone has beat you. So each time I get to one of those, like me and you have both done it. Like we're on our way to like.
That means.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I never knew why some were green and some were red. Oh,
and it depends.
So like,
you can switch between them too. You can switch. The road signs will tell you if you're looking at best online or offline or road rule, which is the time limit, or showtime.
What's super funny to me is we both had mental blocks about those stupid street signs. You didn't realize they blinked at you, and you actually hear a blinker sound when you're supposed to turn.
Yes, true.
And I didn't understand why colors. So great.
But it's fun because it sets up a leaderboard, like an all-time leaderboard, but also a leaderboard of everybody that's in the room with you at the same time.
Yeah, so and it is fun. It is fun.
Yeah. You get caught up in it because you set a new challenge, which is what we've been doing a lot of, and everybody kind of races to that challenge. But every now and then on the way to the challenge, you'll run by one of those roads. It's like, oh, nobody's done this one, so you'll take a left turn, or you'll keep going like right past the challenge because you got to get to the end of the road, set the time. You're almost there.
Yeah. No, and that's that. It is like there have been. I can honestly say in every game we've played, I have never been to the destination first. I've consistently been there last, not only because I cannot seem to remember where any of the roads go, but also I get sidetracked with, oh, look, a billboard. Oh, look, a smashing
that
thing.
Too, yeah.
Like and so Ryan's almost done with all of the online challenges.
I finished them after you left last time, yeah.
Did you finish it? Okay.
All of the car ones. I got to the end of the car ones and it capped out at 440 or something like that. And I'm like, 440? I'm like, I had a feeling the math wasn't going to match up, and it didn't. So then I looked it up, and there's a whole nother series of those for motorcycles.
Ah.
Yeah. So
nice.
I did a little bit of those too.
Yeah, so you're running through those, and then when we've been playing, we've been kind of, I've been on with a bunch of them, and then we've been running through the ones that I'm missing, which are just significant at this point.
Well, if we get you up to 250, you get that car that kind of solves some of your issues. Although you've been diving into the single player like 10 times more than I have.
I'm A class, baby.
Okay, so
I am 50. I basically at this point now I have to go through the entire map. I have to do you have to do every single mission on the map. So the way the single player works is you start off with, you have graded licenses, and you start off at D, and then you have to do like 10. You have to win 10 matches. 10 anythings, and it's so there's the road rage ones with it, which is just straight up takedowns, get X amount of takedowns. There's regular races, which are regular races, which you can do takedowns.
Can still take down people,
yeah. And there are marked man, where you are trying to be taken down by a bunch of cars, and you can't really take cars down, and when you do, it doesn't tell you, it's really frustrating. Those are the three main ones. And stunt races. Fourth one is stunt races. So as you play, like if you just wanted to like get through your D class, you could do just the road rages and you'll get through it. For the most part, I've kind of done that. I've just done the road rages as much as I could, and then the stunt races. And I've tried to leave the races period alone because I hate them. And the marked man sucks, especially when you get to B and A, they become significantly more difficult.
Really?
By a large factor. Yeah. So that's where when you start playing, this is where you have to start going into your garage, because the marked man at the A level, if you're using a fast car that's not very strong, you are never going to make it. You are going to get rocked every time.
You need survivability.
Yeah, because you can't, like, they will bash your car and you will go flying, and they, like, it's all the cars that are on Marked Man are all like black cars with tinted windows. They look like they're bulletproof.
Yeah.
And you really can't move them very much. And so yeah, you've really got to, as you progress, you really have to pay attention to those stats.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how much I don't know, having just played the online. Like, I didn't even know there were different types of cars. Like, we got to a challenge in online and you're like, I can't do this because my boost meter is small. And I'm like, what do you mean your boost meter is small? Turns out there's a type of car where the boost meter goes up if you wreck it. It's an aggression type car, and I was in a speed type car, so I had no idea what you were talking about. So yeah, I'm still a little behind on the single player, but eventually.
Yeah, and I've unlocked a ton of cars through that. Like, I've got way more cars than you do, and you've basically been using just one car.
Yeah, the one I got from doing, I think it was
250
from 250 challenges. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, all the cars, outside of the ones in the single player are unlocked. So, I could have changed to any of the cop cars or any of that.
And
stuff.
all the DLC's in there, so you can choose the OP cars right off the bat if you want. I've been sticking to just the ones that unlock in the Paradise thing, just to kind of keep the play experience the same, since I never played it the first time around. But
exactly.
I'm still just really impressed at the online experience, like, overall. And yeah, it's got some rough edges. We've had some talks about the cameras. And
let's talk about these rough edges.
Right.
This is where I do want to get into this, because overall I agree with you. I think the game is pretty strong, but there are a couple things that just outright suck. And it is legitimately one of the most annoying things to have to try and navigate some of these roads and having no waypoint to it. And they'll put the dot in a weird spot, and if you don't know where the entrance is to that, you're going to be driving around it for 10 minutes.
The roads aren't obvious. Like, you can't just see the dot off in your mini map and just drive towards it, because you'll be on a road eventually that turns off the opposite direction, and you have to figure out how to get back on. So yes, a waypoint would be nice or something. But you were saying that's when you were talking about the road signs tell you when and where to turn. Like, not even that.
Right, but not. And I know that happens in single player. But if you're just if you just set a waypoint or if you just say you set a challenge, right? That doesn't happen.
Oh, it doesn't happen for those. Okay.
No, so you have no idea where to go. And I mean, on top of that, it's one of those things where it's like, if you know the name of a place and somebody doesn't, you can't just say, you can't just set a waypoint. You have to say, okay, well, wait for my dot to get there, or you have to go get them and drive them to the thing. And it's just stupid. It's like, it's just it's a miss. And to me, it's actually a pretty big miss. But
yeah, I mean, I could definitely see it.
It's not like, it's clearly not impacting my playing. It's just like, as far as things that should be in the game,
it's a quality of life thing.
That's probably one of the things that I'd say, fix that. That's the first thing I want fixed. That's the first thing I want in the game.
And honestly, the only reason I'm kind of fine with it is because this is the first time in a long time that I've gotten to know a map just by playing it.
Right.
So, I mean, I still take wrong turns every now and then, but it's been one of those things where it's been a ton of fun to get to know the world, just because, I've learned it because I'll see a billboard and I'll have to take, 5-10 minutes figuring out how to get to there, like what the path is, going to some of these challenges enough times, racing people, trying to find the shortest distance, because there's no, apart from there not being a waypoint, there's no checkpoint system when you're racing to another spot. Like, you could choose any one of a bunch of different ways to see if you can beat the other guy that's going a different way,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's totally wide open, and I love that. It's kind of funny though, and we do see that. I think we see it more. We don't do a ton of the races online. That's just one thing. We just don't. But there is like always that moment where when you have a really good group, and actually for the last few games, we've actually had some really good groups that were people that were, like, they knew what the challenge was, or even if they didn't know what it was, they were doing it. They were trying to do it
for like 20 minutes at a time sometimes. And the rest of the guys were waiting for them to finish it,
And no, people weren't quitting out. It was great. But there's like, and it's fun because there are moments of we're all waiting in a spot and everybody, okay, guy finally gets it. And then you set a new challenge and then everybody kind of bolts out and we all kind of go one direction and then suddenly everybody splits. And you like, that's where people kind of do a little bit of, you get a little bit of revenge going, you get some takedowns going, but everybody kind of just moves forward and gets to the challenge, and that is really cool. It's really fun to have those experiences.
We haven't been chatting, but we've really run into some of the best groups of people playing online that I've ever run into, and
the cool thing is we've definitely run into a few of the same people over and over again. And there's kind of a we know when that person comes in that they're going to play and every time when we know the person is going to play, we know that when it's another person that comes in, we're like, all right, well, don't start any challenges now. We pretty much know it. Mo.
Was our guy for this week. There was one other guy too, that because the other thing that'll happen is when the challenge gets complete and the rest of us are waiting around, we'll dink around, like we'll run into each other, because it doesn't matter at that point, then we're off having fun, taking each other down or something like that. Well, the last guy is working on completing the challenge. I did that to one guy that had joined with us, and he left immediately. And then like 2-3 minutes later sent me a message that was like, are you still being a jerk with the takedowns? And I was like, oh, I'm in timeout. That's what happened, huh? I'm like, wow. So I sent him a message that was like, man, the thing was my fault for buying into this. He didn't message me back, so this doesn't go anywhere super cool. But yeah, I just messaged him back. I was like, hey, if you don't want to get taken down in this game, like I'm fine with that, but probably don't join this game anymore. Like
ever.
It affected nothing. So I think we're okay.
Yeah, no, we're fine. Yeah. I'm still doing takedowns.
Yeah. That's essentially should have been that was the subtext of my message that I think he got because he did not join, and I have not heard from him since.
Good. Smack that guy.
Fun game, man. I've played too much of it. Like I blew off way too much work this week to do that thing. You probably won't see me a whole lot this week, honestly.
That's fine. I've got a lot to do this week. I am curious. Have you gotten anywhere in God of War?
Nope, I haven't touched it. The only other thing I touched video game wise was I've had a lot of family over. Part of the reason I haven't been able to do much, and I bought Star Trek Bridge Crew. How'd
that go?
Good. I mean, I know it's in there what I'm looking for, but it's not because my dad's a huge Star Trek fan. That's probably where I got it from.
Right.
Plenty of family nights watching Next Generation when I was growing up. So the Next Generation expansion came out. I bought that. There was a bundle, and I was hoping it was I turned on the voice commands, and I was like, hey, I'll sit my dad down in here, and he'll be able to figure it out, right? It's a little more complicated than that, so we couldn't get super far. But he got into the bridge and could look around, and he kind of knew. So I need to dive in, and then I can kind of guide him through it if we're going to do that. But
can you put Wesley in a space lock?
I don't know if there's any actual characters, but no, yeah.
Because definitely, if you can, get rid of him first.
I'll see what I
And look, I'll be honest with you. If Beverly has words to say about it, airlock. Just don't even listen to it. Just airlock.
Yeah, shocking misuse of airlock on Star Trek, just overall.
Yeah. It's just, beam them to the airlock.
Yeah,
that's it. That's how we do it. We get whoever's doing the beaming to I accidentally beamed Wesley into an airlock. Whoops.
Also, why do we have an airlock? I don't know.
He went Event Horizon on us.
Sam Neill.
His eyes exploded. Oh well.
Oh well, indeed.
So I the reason I brought up God of War is I've got I've played a little bit of it, not a ton of it this week, but two things that I wanted to bring up. One, Mimir is a character that follows you throughout the game. Well, for most of the game, I should say. He kind of gives the overarching mythology kind of to Kratos and Atreus.
Okay.
So a lot of the conversation, because Kratos is just not a conversationalist. Mm-hmm. He's very he's a little quiet. He's a little
reserved.
Introspective. Mm-hmm. So this character, he kind of plays that role, the role of the all-knowing father without being the knowing father. And
is he an actual person? Is he like a voice?
It's one of these things that I don't quite want to give away because it's a great moment in the game, and it's not integral to like really the story moving. Like it's not a spoiler so much, but it is a really cool moment that I just don't want to ruin for you.
I appreciate the candor.
It's pretty early on when Mimir shows up, and you'll know Mimir very quickly. Okay. Great the guy who's doing the voice too. Great voice, like really terrific kind of.
Oh, it's Alan Tudyk.
I wish it would be like I really want him. I want the guy doing that to just read me a bedtime story type thing. It's not like Stanley Parable, that kind of thing. It's just the accent and tone the guy has is really. It would be like a really good, exciting bedtime story.
Oh, it's Bill Nighy.
Yeah, they did it. Like, how cool would that be? It's but no, he's got to go be in Destiny.
I'm ruining it for you as we go on, aren't I?
No, because this guy's better than Bill Nighy.
Whoa.
In Destiny,
okay.
for sure.
But
the direction for his voice acting is really, really good. The inflections that he puts on the stories that he tells, and the stories are awesome because they do fit in with the narrative, but they also give like this extra added bulk. In the right way. It's not, bulk is not the right word, but it's like gravitas to the Aesir and the Roman gods or the mythology there, not the Romans, the
right.
Thorins.
Norse.
Yes, there we go. Norse.
I'm so glad when developers go that extra mile. Like I know there are times and places for kind of good enough, and I know gameplay is important too, but I think it's there's plenty of games out there that were like have the HR lady do this thing, or the whatever lead do this voice. It's good enough, it'll get the point across. There is some craft,
lots of craft to it.
Yeah.
It's an art, man, and
I do appreciate the extra mile there sometimes.
All the voice acting in this is great. All the characters are really well voiced. Mimir just happens to be, he's one of those characters that if that character weren't there, it would be a lesser game, just period. The other two characters that are really great are the blacksmiths who really, really funny, really, really
nice,
funny
okay.
stuff. They have some really, really funny lines in interactions with Atreus, and like again, just good stuff. They've got some real grumpy, funny stuff.
I promise I'll play it.
But the other thing I wanted to bring up was there is a section in the game that kind of is one of those things you do tend to enjoy, but I think they screwed it up a little bit. And it's like a challenge room, right?
The ones we were talking about, yeah.
Yeah. So there's this entire realm that you can travel to that is just basically one giant challenge room. As you're kind of going through each thing, you're going like as you enter the area, you have like a section where you start the challenge, and the challenges range from kill everybody to kill them all in X amount of time before.
So there's just one for the whole game, or they pop up kind of throughout the.
This one section is
okay.
That's all this is.
Okay.
This is just it, and it's you're going room to room or area to area, and you don't have to do it all in one shot. You can do one section, you can do one test, leave, come back, and however you want to do it. And if you get to there early enough, you probably will, because you will eventually want to upgrade stuff and change what you have. But I got all the way to the last part, and so I'm on the last section. It's 5 different rooms. Each room has at least 2 challenges, and there's like an easy one and a hard one.
Okay.
And this is one where the first fight was hard. It was difficult, but I got through it. Didn't take too many tries. I think it was 3 or 4, but I got through it. This last one, I don't know if I'm ever going to even attempt it much. I don't know if I'll attempt it much more, I should say. because you have to do it perfectly. You can't get touched.
Right.
And this is a game where that's really, really hard.
Never like that. Never enjoyed it.
And that's one of my gripes for this game is I hate games that do anything where you have to do it perfectly. It's rarely fun.
I agree.
And this game has that going for it. And I mean, there's the other issue I have with it is, and I keep running into these stupid characters, these dark elves or whatever they are, that can blind you and make everything around you totally dark where you can't see them. I hate it. It's such a cheap tactic. It's a terrible. I hate it.
I really don't know if I'll. I mean, normally in any game I probably would, but PlayStation's kind of a different thing. And I specifically bought God of War to see the story, so I kind of feel like if it's not going to impact or block the story from finishing, I'm probably.
It won't block the story from finishing, but it can impact the story in the sense that the reason you're doing it is to get more stuff, like some more charms and things for your weapons, and that does make it worth it, because it can get a little.
I'll play it.
It can get a little dicey.
Okay.
A little dicey.
I'll play it.
It's good. I am trying to get through the story. I think I'm nearing the end of it.
All right. So probably stay tuned for more of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try not to talk about this again until I'm done with it.
Me too.
Good. Hey, are there any games coming out this week that you're planning on getting? Because we are not doing any more for the rest of the day. There's no more news.
Nah.
There's nothing.
We're gonna call it. There's a few things. If you like Battlefield 5, maybe go check it out. We might get into that more next week too. Who knows?
Who knows?
We got into Call of Duty, so it's probably only fair.
Yeah, and we should definitely talk about people that whine about stupid crap in video games.
Oh man, some of those. Yeah, okay, we'll get there. But no, I don't think anything's coming out that I'm gonna pick up.
No. What are you gonna? You said you're gonna be busy this week, so probably no games for you, eh?
I'm to the point where I'm getting emails from clients, so that's kind of when you know that you've probably spent too long. I know that Battlegrounds finally got Miramar on Xbox, so if I do, actually, that's on my radar. I've wanted to try Miramar for a long time. I know people hate it, but I hate the whole and I guess I've come to like it. You know, we could check out the other shows for my trip through Battlegrounds, but the whole aspect of kind of hiding and kind of biding my time and kind of having to snipe in a way, like you can kind of survive, but there are other things that they've introduced to Battlegrounds on the PC that changed the game significantly. Like I wish that fog was a thing. I don't know if they're still doing that on PC, but I know that used to pop up every now and then.
No idea.
Okay, well then that forces close quarters like nothing else. So Miramar, kind of the same thing. Like you can't hide out in the open as much, where that's not my thing. So Miramar, I felt like would force more of a game that I'm used to or have excelled at in the past. So I'm interested in it for that. But I mean,
all right, well let's play that instead of Burnout.
See, that's the other thing. I don't know. I just started playing the motorbikes, and it's pretty fun.
Too much.
You can do a wheelie.
Whee!
So I don't. Yeah, one of those we'll talk about. We'll gotta have something to talk about next week, right?
Don't say that. Nothing's required. I am going to try and get some more State of Decay in, and I want to finish God of War. So
actually, yeah, we'll probably get some multiplayer of that done, right? Too. I'll play some of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's call it on that. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot already to ask. Hey,
it's a lot already.
Look, thanks for stopping by. Short show this week. Come back next week. We'll have a little bit more. We'll have some more news and stuff. Hit us up if you got anything. Podcast at 0HITPOINTS.com. You know the website. Come back on Thursday for the book club for movies. This week, we're going to be talking about The French Connection.
The Frenchest.
It's super French. It is like there are fries and to drink Peru. So come back for that. And join the club because we've got movies coming up that you could watch and participate in.
Yeah, try it.
2